I brought an urn for you today. Urns meant to keep the ashes of the loved ones whom we have cremated. Now, why an urn? Because today, let's talk about death. What a strange topic, especially for you lot. You guys still have the stories of your lives to write. Very long stories, filled with many more adventures, new relationships, a lot more work left to be done, a lot more dreams to pursue. But as we share about the future of us, there is one thing that will be in all of our futures: death, loss. And like with any story, yours will also have an ending. Every book will have a final page. Now, the book of my best friend of 19 years, Nick, was filled with travel, lots of food, kindness, listening to friends without judgment, and a lot of lame jokes. His final page came a little bit early, on 9th of December 2018. You could say that his last chapter started in spring of 2018, 9 months earlier, with the discovery of lower abdominal pains, which then led to a quick diagnosis of late stage cancer. Fast forward to the day itself. 2:30 a.m. in the morning, getting a phone call, knowing immediately who it's from, picking up the phone, me in my haze going, yes, I'm coming down. The nurse asking me, should we call his parents and his sister? And me going, yes, please, click. Changing up, calling a cab. Rushing down, running up that slope into the palliative ward and stepping into the room, which was peaceful. Well, his parents had gotten there first. And his sister and family were standing around Nick, and he was there just resting. And I walked in not wanting to disturb the peace, going, oh, finally, Nick's getting some sleep. After about 4 nights of restless movements because of the toxins building up, it was only after a minute that his sister Audrey lightly taps me on my hand and goes, hey, Yen, feel his arm. His body is still warm. The next 4 to 5 seconds, this is me processing what she meant. Stepping back, not saying anything, realizing finally that I was too late for my best friend's last sentence. After that was more silence, until his dad looks up in my direction and says, what do we do next? And after that silence, a lot of talking, arranging at funeral parlors, calling lawyers, pastors, activating friend networks to inform them about the details of the wake. And the next 5 days, even more talking, a lot of expressions of kindness, of help, of condolences, a lot of reassurances to those who feel their own pain at their loss of a man who meant something special to each of them. Fast forward 9 months. to now. There's no more talking. The death has passed. And we've stopped the conversation about death and dying. Until today, of course, because you're listening to me now. Because who on earth goes to a dinner conversation going, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, friends, let's talk about my death in the future? We do not do that. It is taboo, it is uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes talking about death doesn't have to come with words. Look at an artwork by artist Phang. Made up of talcum powder and rice, dealing with the death of both of his parents within the span of 3 years, within the radius of the unification of these two home daily materials representing his parents, is a clock mechanism sweeping round. The title of this work, Till the End of Time. The hospital in which Nick died organized a remembrance memorial, and they brought together all of us who have lost our loved ones. In that session, a son shared a very simple song, a Mandarin song talking about the dumplings that his mom used to cook for him, and also the pranks that he used to play with his mom, pretending to be Andy Lau, a Hong Kong singer, and also other fake people. Coming back to this urn, this isn't an urn made of stainless steel or jade, it's not meant to last. This urn evokes a sense that was meaningful for artist Johnson Liao, the sense of smell. Because this urn is made of incense, and in a single stroke, the artist has made an object which is not just a vessel for the memories of a lost one, but it represents him as the keeper of his father's memory, who one day will also turn into ash. And as we share about the death of those that we have lost, we can also start talking about the death that we are to face in our future. Here is artist Shirley So, who has been working with the residents of Chong Pang. She has been sewing quilts with senior citizens, and together in a communal space of making and sharing, she has let people include their memories and messages to be passed down to those who will still continue remembering their stories once they've been gone. Embedded in these quilts are words, memories, photographs. So as we learn how to talk about death together, perhaps we can start to think about how we ourselves want to end our own story. Nick's story was planned so that it ended with the bringing together of friends, of people who never met each other before, of new relationships, and of a new sense of community. You have the stories of your lives to write. How do you want to write your last page and final sentence? Thanks.